Hey, what's up, DJ Digital? Maybe you've heard me on Hot 107.9, weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Maybe you know me from The Breakfast Jam. Maybe you listen to me nationally, Double XL Higher Level Radio, weeknights from 7 to midnight. But you know what? I'm going to be off the air and on fire. Louisiana on fire. I'll be off the air with my man Tim Davis, and anything goes. So tune in.
What's up, Louisiana? Tim Davis, DJ Digital, on back again for episode 3. This is part 3, episode 13. I should have said that.
13 of these?
Yeah, this is
You've
the
done
13th
13
one.
of these?
13, man.
What have you learned doing? Like, I'm going to interview you. What have you learned doing this that you did not know was maybe difficult, a struggle, that's made you kind of appreciate this whole kind of genre of, podcasting, but almost kind of just broadcasting? Like, because you've watched, I'm sure, podcasts.
Yes. I watched the podcasting, man. What are
you learning? I'm curious, because I feel like everybody wants to do a podcast until they do a podcast.
Yes, it's not what I think I love it more than the difficult parts of it.
Sure.
But the difficult parts for me is the schedules for everybody. Your schedule's crazy. Like, this guy's schedule is crazy. So we are very grateful that he has the short amount of time to get with us today and everything. The schedule, the editing, which I have a team, man.
Yeah, you gotta have a team.
Yeah.
Or someone who's riding with you. You see a lot of couples do this because, like, it's the only way you can get someone to work so much for free. You know?
Right.
It's wild, man. And it's like, so shout out to teams in general.
Yeah, man.
Everybody, if you got a team, love your team, because your team, your tribe, people call them tribes. Fam bam, trying to think all the squad.
You know.
Yeah. So no, I'm glad you're doing this. So
I'm glad you guys 13, man. Like, I just always felt like we got so much talent here, man. Like, and you've been doing this for years.
And you do all Louisiana too, right? You go.
Yeah. I'm trying to go branch out and everything. Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
we've been to Baton Rouge. We're trying to get some people in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Thibodeau, Houma.
You going to North? See, you notice how you didn't say North Louisiana?
Yeah.
People get mad if you don't claim North Louisiana.
Right.
I hung out with some 318 people last night. They were cool, man. But 318 people kind of like lead the conversation knowing that you might feel a type of way about them. It's like, once you get that like close, like I was like, that's Texas.
Yeah, man. That's like low. I got some people that I went to college with, from Shreveport. Shout out to Shreveport.
Great. Monroe people seem to be like fun row.
Yeah.
Those people they love it down here.
I never thought it would be so different until you go out and everything. But people all over, man. I'm trying to get everybody all over the state, man. We got it.
I feel like, hot take, more people leave North Louisiana, or if they get a taste of South Louisiana, they end up here.
Yeah.
And more people from South Louisiana ending up there.
Right. Yeah.
If I'm going that far, I may as well just keep going.
Yeah. Right.
No offense to North Louisiana.
No.
I'm just saying, like, some people don't claim past Sinlot. Like, man, once you get to like Ellick, like,
oh, bro.
It's
a
weird.
shout out to one of my mother-in-laws is from the Alexandria area.
They're cool.
So we got that. I got a homeboy that's in the the Ruston area, but he went for a job. But yeah,
but Shreveport's got a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
We actually have a cluster of stations up there, so it's cool. It's different. It's different, but it's the same.
Yeah.
But I love Louisiana.
It's like South Dallas.
You got 4 Louisianas.
Yeah.
Like, you got like our little corner down here, and then like you got like anything kind of north of Central, and you got like kind of the Baton Rouge area, then you got New Orleans.
Yeah. New Orleans is by
kind
itself.
Of its own
that's
thing.
a whole different player right there.
But that's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Hey, man.
And I'm glad just to be here, man. I'm learning a lot about myself.
That's
questions that you're asking.
Yeah, man. This is what I wanted, man. Like, because you've been doing this for so many years, man, and people hear you on the radio just about every day. Mm-hmm. They go to events to see you. People pay to see you, man.
That's crazy.
They pay because they're like, man, digital's there. Oh, it's going down.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about that?
So it's like, it's not pressure more than it's like just gratitude. Like, it makes me want to. One of the things, the mantras I live by, and like, as much as I hate cliches, I feel like I live by like the biggest cliches, is like, whatever you do or whatever you're doing, if it's a job, if it's like a thing you promise someone, like, what's the one thing that I can do to be just a little bit better than enough? Like, so I always kind of think about, like, even when we're talking about the Breakfast Jam, I could have just done whatever we're playing. Like, what if we do this, like, what if we just do this one little unexpected extra thing? Like, it's kind of like at restaurants when they come out, like, they know it's your birthday, they bring you that cake.
Yeah, right.
Like, you didn't even want it, and it's not that great, but you felt good.
Yeah.
It's like, it was something unexpected that someone did that was thoughtful and like you didn't ask for it, but you appreciated it. So the gratitude, man, is like, yeah, you're right. Like anytime I do anything and people support it, even blindly, it's like, man, if people are going to support me from my reputation, well, let me make sure that I don't ever take that for granted and like always try to kind of deliver like on a higher level, or just figure out a way to make it like a little bit more special, or put a little bit extra time, into it, or and again, that's anything. It's not just DJing, because like I forget that like the radio and the DJing part, like it doesn't even feel like I never think about that as like my job per se. So it's not until I do things like this that I'm like, oh man, like I do have to kind of walk people through like my day to day. So it's just kind of like an organic part of like who I am and like, what I stand for, stuff like that. So
man, look, I wouldn't want to ask you this because I mean, you've been doing this for so long, like I said before. Where did the name come from?
Oh my God! So remember I was telling you about that like stack of like I have that small stack of records. So like one of the so DJ names more times than not, like you don't give it, if you give yourself a DJ name, it ends up being like the worst, like or it's one that everyone has. So for me, like there's this album, and shout out to the oil field, man, because the oil field brought kids into Louisiana, South Louisiana, from other places like Colorado, West Coast, wherever. And those kids didn't grow up with like Southern rap and like, the music that we like, even Zydeco. Like, think about, there's so much music we love that is nowhere else. Like,
I know.
And it's like, all you know is what you have. So like, I've known whatever's on MTV or VH1, BET, whatever we'd watch, The Box.
The Box, yes.
Right?
Right.
Like, so you'd see some of the stuff really top line. If you're listening to West Coast, like you knew who Dr. Dre was.
Right.
You knew who Snoop Dogg was, but you only knew like the best of the best songs. But like Wu-Tang Clan was one of those like artists, and it's like they weren't even like Biggie and like, probably through the 2024 lens, Puff, at the time, like East Coast stuff. Like, I mean, but like you knew that, you heard of Busta Rhymes.
Right,
like, you heard of like certain groups, Bone Thugs and Harmony, they were coming out of Cleveland, like the Midwest. Like you heard of some of these people. And, but Wu-Tang, like, there wasn't a lot of kids rocking Wu-Tang down here. Like, nah, man, if you were listening to hip-hop in the South, you were listening to either Louisiana hip-hop or Texas.
Yeah.
Bro, Dobie had us stuck in between
Houston
and New Orleans, and then Lafayette and Baton Rouge, like, on top of it. So
shout out to Swisher House, man.
So you're listening to, like, DJ Screw and, like, but that was, like, the top line in terms of hip-hop. Like, so you knew about the Wu-Tang Clan, like, so I had a friend who got me into it because he, Jason Lambert was his name, and he was just into it. And I think he was like from Colorado, so he liked hip hop. So like I got, you get into it, you like certain things, and I remember like one of the stores that would carry a lot of that. It was CD Warehouse. It was across from the mall.
I remember that.
So they had more like eclectic stuff, and I remember kind of getting some stuff from there. And like that was the first place I saw like an Eminem CD, like before like he really exploded. Again, we didn't have the internet, so you had to like just learn about stuff that you saw like in a store, and like if the artwork looked cool, you'd buy it. So the RZA from Wu-Tang Clan, this is we're gonna land this plane, had this. You'd have to look it up. It was like the RZA as Bobby Digital. Now the RZA was like the dude behind all the music, produced everything for Wu-Tang. So he did this like conceptualized album where he was like Bobby Digital, and there's just one skit where like all these women are saying like, Bobby Digital, like in like all these different languages. But it was like I didn't have like a lot of records, so when you're scratching, you want to try to like get the cleanest part of a sound that makes like a cool, Eric, like people's like wiki. You hear people say that. Well, the reason why that sounds so clean is because it's a sound with no other drum or like something that makes it sound like not cool. So like one of the only things. So I was like, I had no real records to practice with where you'd have like a clean sound of just a vocal sample or a one-shot kind of sound where you can bring it back and manipulate it. So I would just always kind of like scratch like the digital, and like my friends jokingly like, oh, it's DJ, and it was Bobby Digital. My name's not Bobby. It was like Bobby Digital, and then I ended up when people were like, what's your DJ name? And we're like, oh, Digital, just because like your friends would call you that to like make fun of you. I mean, it's like, but I feel like that's how most people's names and nicknames come about, like someone giving someone a hard time, or So yeah, and it just kind of stuck.
It stuck.
And it was really cool because like it was at a time where like, and the irony of it, guys, this is so stupid. The irony of it was like it was DJ Digital, but like I was also like still playing records. So it was like it was really dumb. But it like it stuck. Yeah. So like I probably still have some CDs with like Bobby Digital, and like I would spell it a certain way where like the vowels were lowercase, and like, oh my god, dude, but we all go through that thing. Where something's cool and like it's like a new thing, and then people just started calling you that, and if you met me as that, it was just kind of that. Digital turned to Dig.
Yeah.
Digi. I've heard everything. So if somebody calls me Brandon, you either met me not as a DJ or I'm in trouble. Like my mom or my wife, it's one of the two. So.
I gotta go between, calling you Brandon and Ditch, because I'm like,
I think, and I think a lot of that comes with like the work that I've done kind of later in my career is like less DJing and more like community work. Just what am I doing with this platform? It's something that one of my closer friends in media, but just in life, Marcel Fontenot.
Yeah.
It's something that definitely we connected with is like, what are we doing with this platform? Like you've got people who follow you, who appreciate what you do, like, but are you just taking from this, or are you using this to actually like make this a better place to live or pay it forward? Or if you're doing this, like, am I using all my mess ups and my years of understanding whatever to like help you make this easier for, if you're doing a podcast?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, you're supposed to like, whether it's something as like simple as paying it forward to like each one teach one kind of. So that's been the most important work probably over the last 10 years or so, is like, if I'm gonna be here and be fortunate enough to stay here, it's like, man, why don't you we complain enough about everything.
Yeah.
So if you complain on the internet right now, all you have to do is ask yourself, what are you doing to make your situation better, your city better? There's nothing to do in Lafayette. Well, what are you doing to make it better?
Yeah.
Well, stay home.
Or just come to you. Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, it's the name thing. That's where that came from. So I wish it was a cooler story. But if y'all want to go check out the RZA as Bobby Digital, go it was one of the little skits, the little interludes, which is the best part of an album, like just parts where people are talking.
Yeah, they don't even do that anymore, man. At
least
don't
do it anymore. Yeah, just go and check out like that talking sample. So it came from that.
Yeah.
I wish it was cooler. But.
Oh man, no, to me that's cool because there's a story behind everything, man.
Everything.
You know, so I mean, you've come to this, and there's a story behind you, man. I wanted to ask you this one too, though. So since you're on the radio and everything, you get to see celebrities and everything, man.
Yeah.
Give us a list of some celebrities. Which one was your favorite one to interview and talk to and whatnot?
Man, what's crazy is like, so for the most part, like you, and this is any genre, to be honest with you, you usually don't meet people at the height of their fame. So in radio, just to kind of pull the curtain back a little bit, and it's a question I get all the time. The short answer is the people that I've got to meet that are like, to me, like freak out, are the people that aren't as famous. So it's like, I was telling you earlier, reading those liner notes and like, oh, this guy is the guy who played this like bass line on this song.
Right.
A local guy, for instance, like we've got Lee Alenzino, who's from Lafayette, but he'll play with Ray Boudreaux, but he's played with some of the like best of the best, musicians just in general, not here, beyond. And it's like anytime you read like liner notes and you see like what they were responsible for.
Right.
So it's like I freak out at like stuff like that, like meeting producers or people who are like in the room, or people who were instrumental in, making something that's insanely popular cool before anyone knew it was cool. So but no, man, I mean, so in the industry, like, and here's the thing, even like working in radio, even if it's not, I've met more country people that were famous that were visiting across the hall. So if you were just working at the radio station and one day, like, I don't know, I forget who it was, man. Oh God. Like, was it Kenny Rogers or someone came by?
Come on,
but
man.
I mean, he wasn't the most famous person I met, but it's like, Shania Twain showed up for something, had a project. Britney Spears' sister came by, like Jamie Lynn, but their mom was with him. Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God, like this is the woman who birthed Britney. Nicest people in the world. Like, and I will tell you this, I won't tell you that the most famous person per se, or the person I remember, but I will tell you that it is a very, very common thing for the people who are more famous to be more down to earth and genuinely happy to be there than the people who are maybe like hot now,
Right.
but like died immediately, that were the biggest like, look the other way, this is a waste of my time. Like, it never fails. But I mean, pick a name, dude. I mean, I've probably met them. Cause like I've met more people probably through DJing than radio, if that makes sense. Just being in rooms, like doing a lot of corporate events. The industry is a very small world. Like, and then especially when people move on. So like, I've had friends that have worked for Red Bull that have gone on to work for bigger companies, or certain management companies manage a bunch of different people, or guys that I work with in the music industry are also have talent agencies. So when you kind of know certain people, like you're in a certain atmosphere and you're just kind of around that. So a lot of bigger corporate events where people have come through, it's not uncommon for me to be in a room with, Pharrell at a Heineken event.
Wow.
But if Pharrell's there, then whoever in town that knows Pharrell is there too to see Pharrell.
Yeah.
If a huge artist is playing New Orleans, well, every New Orleans artist is going to be there. Every superstar, every athlete is going to be there. So, I feel like I don't know who I haven't met, I guess. But I wanted to tell you this, like, so meeting Drake, like I met Drake before Drake was Drake.
Yeah, right,
He was still Drake. I mean, it was a big deal.
Right after Degrassi.
I knew who he was, like, but without, like, you know what I'm saying? But he was just in the hall. It was a Wayne show. It was actually ironically the same show where like Paul Wall was playing that show. Khaled was there. He was on that tour. Mixmaster Mike was there. Him and I just played a couple years ago or last year in Baton Rouge for Palooza. So you see these people again and they remember you. And meeting DJs of like, there's artists that I've met multiple times, and like a lot of guys and girls, they have the same management from like so they remember you based on where you're at. Wow. So when they come to Louisiana, like once you have that contact, like they know, hey, they'll call you up. Hey man, any word on this, or can you connect me with whoever? So it's a small world, but the thing about meeting famous people, especially in radio, is you're gonna meet someone before they're huge. So you might meet 10 people and 2 of them might make it.
Yeah.
So I've got, artist drops from like Bruno Mars when he was a brand new artist. Wow. I remember like my buddies at Def Jam at the time, driving around the country in a rental car with Justin Bieber and his mom as this kid who was a kid making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Who just had this insane following that they were like, we don't know what to do with him, but we're just taking him around to meet people because we're going to be working him, next year, or he's got a song coming. Yeah, so they'll come in, they're like, they do the whole wine and dine. Like, we want you to meet this artist. Here's projects we have coming. We hope you're there to support it. Like, and it's a business, man. I mean, if you work, like I said, if you have to take out clients, say you might work for a marketing agency and you're trying to get a big client on or a business on, it's the same thing. You're going to want to do right by them, let them know what you're doing. And so meeting these people, you don't know they're going to be a big deal. So 2 to 3 years later, you get to post that picture, like when they have that Grammy moment or something. It's like, it's a joke in the industry, like, oh, here come the DJs with their photos from 2008, like with Katy Perry. It's like when Instagram had 3 filters, like the crackled photo, like, here's you and like Rihanna before she figured out her makeup. Or they're more times than not, these artists are just driving around and they're not all dressed to the nines. Like, they're usually in sweats, just reluctantly doing these interviews and just going and hitting 3 or 4 radio stations a day, on promo tours. So I've met Rihanna. I don't know, I can't think of someone you would bring up who I haven't.
Just big names.
But the names I've met is more like the local names. Like, man, to look at like an icon like a Manny Fresh, who I was texting with, like thinking he was I had Hogs for the Cause, last night, which is an amazing event. And I knew about that event from years ago, like somewhere along the way, like he recognized what I did from us playing together and just, realizing what we had going on, what we were building out here and bringing him out here. And like,
that's amazing.
And now it's like, man, your heroes become like your friends. And it's wild. And that, for me, that's the part, is like to have their genuine, like, appreciation and adoration for what I'm doing. That to me, like, lets you know that you're doing something right, because those are the people that set the bar. So for me, those are the people, like just the pioneers, the icons, and not even really in music, man, just in other lanes too. Just, people that work, I have a lot of friends who work in the entertainment business, like for Live Nation and stuff. And, a guy from here, for instance, I love watching his career path. Alex Bowen is a guy from here who, has kind of gone through the ranks of being like local promoter to like, but this dude, if you look at his track record, brought Kendrick to the Varsity, brought him to Baton Rouge.
Right.
Before anybody can want to bring Morgan Wallen or Taylor Swift somewhere after they're famous. But it's like all the guys and the gals who have the wherewithal to know where something's going before. If you see a concert come into the Cajun Dome, man, that was planned a year ago. It had to be someone who saw and got in on those dates and stuff. So, meeting those people, being in those rooms, and it's just really, I feel like it's hard to say, the most famous person, but the fame usually comes later.
Yeah, afterwards.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That does make sense, man. But I mean, I feel like you treat them all the same anyway, though.
You got to.
So I wanted to put that one too, because this one, everything you've been doing, it brought you to the next level that you're doing right now. So like you said, you was in Cincinnati, right? In Ohio.
Yeah, and that was more. Thank God, that was more of a vacation than anything. But man, I tell you, one of the coolest things that I've done is like traveling and just kind of being able to do. When you meet people, like it's back in the day, I remember it was like insane to be able to trade files through AOL Instant Messenger with other producers, and that's how you knew what was going on in like these pockets of the country. Or if you were into like a certain genre of music, you'd find out that like a lot of the like plaza music and stuff that we love, we call it like, we'll name music a club, keg music.
Yeah.
But like genres of music, certain subgenres, like those really like niche, like Miami bass or whatever, a certain sound or a certain whatever, whether it's like hip hop or electronic music or whatever it might, even Zydeco. Like, bro, what people don't realize is like all these cats, like the Keith Franks of the world and these Zydeco dudes, even Cupid, a lot of these people are going other places to play the music because like there are these pockets of the world that appreciate it. So San Francisco was one area that loved the same type of music that was big at the plaza. Tampa's a market that always loved like a certain sound. Atlanta loved a certain sound. Like Dallas had a certain community that loved a certain sound that we really loved here in Lafayette. So to go and be able to do that, but radio opening those doors, specifically syndicated radio, like I got into that in 2020 actually, had the opportunity to jump on with Double XL Magazine.
Right, man.
Starting a radio arm of like,
congrats.
I'm like, bro,
man.
I used to like want to fight my mom in Target, or not even Kmart.
Yeah.
Like, because if you got to go by the magazines and you got to get one, it didn't even matter if it was 3 months old. Like,
you got it.
And
XXL?
I remember XXL, and then me, the nerd, like
the source,
reading all about the artists that I was listening to. So for the music nerd, there was no internet. Like you had to get one of those and learn all about these artists from these areas and like these. So like for me, it's like when oh my God, Double XL, like, do I have to move to New York? What do I have to do? Well,
that's what I was thinking.
Thanks
to
the pandemic, I did not. No, man. Like, and it's crazy. Like, I don't think when I started that, I don't think they ever went back to no one went back to the New York office. So like, again, a terrible time for a lot of folks. The pandemic was kind of a blessing for me.
Yeah.
I got to because once you did it long enough remotely and figured out a way, and it was like, man, this is doable, to not have to, and it's like, oh, okay, well, cool. Let's just keep it moving.
Right.
So like I got to kind of elevate to that level and then pick up a couple of other things because of, again, the company, like the work that I've done in the company that I was working for, the work that I'd done beyond recognition on a local level where other people were noticing, not like stopping at like, well, who's the best DJ in Lafayette?
Yeah.
I don't cringe when people like introduce me as that because I'm appreciative of like, oh, he's the best DJ in Lafayette. And I'm like, awesome. I'm probably not even, that's probably not even true because like I think of my mentors that are better, in my mind, but like
you're humble guy, man.
I've never wanted to be the best DJ in Lafayette. I've never wanted to be the best DJ at all. I've always just wanted to be like, man, what's out there? Like, where can this go? And it's like, when you see other people out there doing it a certain way and the bar is different in different places, you want to get to that bar. So even in radio, just understanding, well, what does it take to get to that level? There's plenty of people here that could easily do this. So it's not that like I'm better than anyone in any regard. It's like, again, it's back to that opportunity, back to like where are you willing to go? How diverse are you willing to be? How diverse can you be?
Right.
And it's like the more things you can adapt to and work with, the more opportunities are out there. So for me, it's like to have that recognition on that level, you want to like meet the moment. So grateful that I'm able to, so that has opened other doors in terms of like, it's crazy, man. I ended up seeing Drake in Buffalo
I saw that.
on tour. So like we ended up like, whoever I was with, like they had like a bus or something, like some limo that was taking us. I say a limo, I don't know. What are them things, dude? Like a bunch of people could ride in it. It was better than a Sprinter.
Better than Sprinter.
It was that. I think it was that. Just a bunch of people breathing each other's air real close. So like, man, it was wild. Like, so like I hop out at the end of the night, and here are the moments, bro. Like this is not a brag at all. Like, and I want to preface this because like I still forget because it's so routine and it's just the work for me. We're all talking and laughing. Obviously, we went to this Drake show. Mm-hmm. It was great. But I was up there doing some other stuff. It was just an opportunity to go. And Buffalo is one of the markets that I'm on in.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the bigger stations, BLK. It's like an iconic radio station. It's Drake's hometown radio station because across the lake is Toronto.
Yeah.
So
where
he
he's
didn't
from.
have so he listened to BLK.
Wow.
I think he has a clip from WBLK on one of his albums, like one of the Quiet Storm. So he listened to like urban like radio. That was Drake's. So like I'm on at night at that station, and I'm on from 7 to 12 in these different markets, and you just take for granted like, man, someone listens to me every night, whether they're driving a car or just bringing their kid home from practice. And the same way that like my voice is familiar to people here, just from like frequency, like it doesn't even have to be good. What I'm saying may not even be like prolific or just anything. It may just be this is here's Drake, or I may make a joke, or people live with you and it's that intimate moment. Dude, it's what you're doing now. Someone's watching this like on their phone or they're by themselves. And it's
true,
like,
man.
They know all of your quips and your crutches and your quirks and kind of all your ad libs. So like I'm getting off of this thing and the driver was like, hey man, you a DJ? And it's such a normal question that I hear. I'm like, yeah, man, but I'm in Buffalo. He goes, digital? And I'm like, bro, so everyone that I'm with, they know where I'm from. They know what I do. They kind of turn around. I'm like, yeah, man, I thought that was you. And in that moment, it was like, damn, I hear that at home all the time, even in New Orleans, people who have watched me stream. But it was like, it was crazy that in that moment that like, this dude drives, he has to drive all the time. So like, and he's probably driving at night. 5 hours, like you know what I'm saying, like it's just me and him.
Right.
So it's like, man, so it was like, I say that to say, to think about what I do here, that somebody somewhere else, one of the dopest stations I'm on is one of the smaller stations that I'm on in Midland. Bro, who's in Midland? Man, all the people from here.
Yeah, the Allfield guys.
Who tell me, I swear, man, and if you're listening, shout out to all of y'all. And I always shout them out. It's the dudes who are out there getting it out of the ground away from their families. And they're like, man, you give us a piece of home.
Right.
And like they listen every night. They're like, bro, we hear you. We cut up, they'll message on the app.
Bro.
So it's like this national thing that's going on, but like it's home to these dudes because I'm a familiar person.
Yeah.
And they get to hear me on because I'm on in the shop, or I don't know what they're doing in Midland, but like it's that whole area of like of Midland, which is like it's kind of like two markets. But so it's like, man, that's the stuff that like kind of brings it home for me. And it just, again, back to gratitude, like, and from there some other opportunities would come up. So it's cool, man, but it's like nothing, it's all the same work. To me, it's the work. It's no different than I treat it at home. So it doesn't feel bigger.
Yeah.
It just feels like the work. And like, I don't shortchange Lafayette because like it's not a national show. Like, if anything, I feel like I shortchange the national show because I can't be as hyper local. Like so people who get me at home, it made me want to like take what I learned working with like producers and other people. Again, that talent level, that's the stakes are a little higher. Schedules and timing and just so it's a bigger platform, sure, but man, home is still my baby. Like, it makes me want to like take what I've learned and apply it. Since I got to do, it's a little harder. It's not as easy. You can't slack off nearly as much. And there's people who are watching and expectations are a little bigger, but like, it just made me like want to bring, like, why am I bringing this energy to this show and like not bringing it to my people? So that's where you kind of saw, some of the things we did, and now the new show, and like, seeing my friends, guys like Chris Reed, and I like, oh man, y'all splitting up. I'm like, bro, splitting up. Like, I get to kind of grow this in this direction.
Yeah.
And now my guy's running a station, and like, he can more than handle his own. Now he's leveling up.
Right.
For himself and for his family, and like, that's what you want to see is like, bro, Jay-Z has this line, and again, I like, as much as I hate cliches, you're not rich if everybody around you is broke. And it's and it ain't that the truth? Like, if you're not like either hanging around people who are doing for themselves, or you're not using your platform to, and I'm not saying handouts, set the bar for the people around you to want to get to a level.
Yeah.
Then like you're not rich. That's not rich.
Right.
You're not wealthy. Whereas you might have a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you're not wealthy.
See, that's what I like, man. You humble, man, and you just trying to bring everybody up.
Bro,
as
you
well,
got
like,
man. You got to, man. Like, everyone, the whole scarcity mindset of if he got, that means I get less. Like, nah, man. That's not how it works. Like, pay attention to the people who don't clap for you, because like, if they're not clapping for you, more times than not, they got nothing against you. Like, it just might be a reminder of all the times that like, they didn't stay late.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're watching you get these accolades, and like, they didn't get in early. They didn't give extra effort, and it's like, you're a reminder of all the times that they shortchanged themselves. So people talk about haters, ops, all that. It's like, man, nah, man. They really they recognize what you're doing, and they know it's good, but like, they're not mad at you. They're mad at themselves because
the situation.
Yeah, but it's like, if you look at it in a mindset of like, there's a lot of dudes in like radio and in DJing and in anything. You've been there before, dude, where sometimes we want to initially go, man, I know I can do better than that person. Shit, man, like, they might not be as good as you, but they hustled harder.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They were willing to, and like, I don't believe in undercutting or shortchanging, but like, they may have been willing to do it for less to get it. Like, there's a reason why. So it's like, I think about all of that, and it's like, man, if you put in, you get out whatever you put into anything. So for me, if anything, these opportunities on a higher level, which ironically shows higher level radio, it didn't mean less of this. It made me want to make this better.
Right.
Like, don't leave this behind, because this is what got you here. And if this goes away, this is what's here for you.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I'm so fortunate that I've been able to like build in this community, in this state, in this area, this region, and everybody wants to move to New York, Austin, LA. Bro, I got friends working out there.
Yeah.
It is just, it's a rat race. And like, I saw an opportunity, instead of like looking at this place as a place that I couldn't grow or couldn't do whatever. It's like, what if you could grow, and it would be harder and it wouldn't be as easy. Like, what a special thing to kind of shift the paradigm a bit, and like, don't just settle for the status quo or what you think.
Right.
People in every town, someone in LA is hating on LA right now.
Yeah.
Everybody that moved to San Francisco, move the hell out, because it's expensive, because everyone wants to be there. Austin's Lafayette's the next Austin. It's like, bro, everybody, all of my people who go somewhere thinking it'll be better, anywhere you're at, it's what you make of it. So
that's true.
If anybody's trying to leave, don't. But if you got opportunity, I encourage my friends to go and come back.
Yeah.
Like, leave, man. Go see the world.
Right. Go ahead.
Go see the world and see what's not great about the world, to appreciate here more, and go see what's better than here and bring it back.
Yeah.
And make it work for here.
Yeah.
I like
that idea, man. Yeah. Look, we're gonna do this right too, because I'm gonna shift gears, because you was talking about we're gonna shift some things around.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and see if DJ Digital can be trusted, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we got this wheel. I'm gonna get out the way. Oh my
God, you got a whole.
So I'm gonna get out so it can be in the shot there. So what I'm gonna do let me see if I'm gonna move the mics a little bit, just a tad, to see if we can get it in the shot.
This is high dollar.
Oh,
Whose
man.
handwriting is that? I got terrible handwriting.
That ain't
You
mine.
want to know a fun fact about me? My handwriting is terrible.
You should see mine. You should see mine, man. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is what we're gonna do.
So
what you're gonna do? You're gonna give it a hard spin.
From right here? Do I have to get up?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, bro.
From right here, bro.
And then we're gonna go ahead. You're gonna give it a hard spin, and then I got a question for you. So make sure.
Oh, that's so terrible.
Oh, well, you know what? That's a new one though. So that's a new one. Look, we got.
Is it on Enunciate?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know I made a full round.
What? So look, I'm gonna step off for a second. I gotta go get this piece of paper, right?
This is great,
This never landed on this, so this is new. All right, hold on.
Enunciate. All right, cool. This is gonna be really good.
Yeah,
so,
man. So I got this one here.
I'll entertain people while you're gone, man. So he's,
Bro.
He's
So
behind the scenes. He's looking
let me
at the
see
folder
here.
right now. This is really good. So
All right.
This is really great. So let's see. Alarms, jelly beans. I'm trying to look at the topics and kind of figure out where we're going with this. Ketchup, toilet paper. Man, this looks like a grocery pickup. Real quick. Popeyes. All right.
So look, bro, I got 2 words for you, man. All right. So you from here, so you should be able to enunciate this correctly.
Yeah.
So I got 2 of them for you.
Okay.
So the first one, see, let them see it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So how do you pronounce this,
That's
man?
pecan, man.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Boom. We can be
Anybody
trusted.
out there saying pecan, you can't be trusted.
Thank you. Boom.
Yeah.
I got another one for you, and it kind of goes with this one. Y'all see it here, right?
Oh my God.
All right. How you say that?
Probably.
Thank you. Praline.
Who's
It's
saying-
not. They say
Who's saying
praline.
A and N?
Bro, they say
Pecan.
Pecan praline.
Who's saying this? Even if they're
the
right,
ops,
they're wrong.
The ops saying that.
Even if they're
That's who's
right,
saying
even
that,
if they're
bro.
right, they're wrong. Enunciate.
Yeah.
So
So enunciate, man.
Yeah.
So you can be trusted. Digital can be trusted. You know. So
Yeah.
like, I think that was a good one, bro.
That's a real thing, man. Shout out to my girl Brittany from Brits Cooking. So like
Yeah.
with influencers now, so much of our culture is like out in the world, and the pecan thing is a real thing.
Yes.
Someone heard her say pecan, and bro, the comments they were like pecan. And she, my girl's already got like, bro, she is tried and true Louisiana. So
Yeah.
her accent, I feel like so many influencers from here, like the accent is the way, like the gateway drug. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't know why I like this, but I love the accent.
Right.
And next thing you know, they love what they're doing. But pecan was a heated topic for her, and I'm like,
Really?
there's no argument. It's
No.
pecan.
No, it's not pecan.
It's not
It's
pecan.
No,
Like
it's pecan.
You know how I know? Because back in the day, like everyone had a relative that said you'd be a gone pecan.
Yes,
So,
yes. How did you
even
can't
if
do?
it's
You gonna be
pecan,
gone
it's
pecan?
gonna be like
It don't
a
even-
geen pecan, you know, or like a gan pecan. Nah, it's pecan and praline. So
There you go. See, digital can be trusted.
I can be trusted.
I mean, I already knew it.
Yeah.
We just had to make sure we do it for everybody, every guest. So boom, he could be trusted. So with this one, so now I want to ask you this. I'm gonna shift back a little bit.
yeah.
So, cause I'm gonna go real back. Cause I know your wife. Who
Man.
shot their shot, bro?
Oh,
How
bro.
did this relationship between
Who
you
shot
and
the
Natalie
shot?
came back?
Man,
come
let
around?
me tell you the worst thing about me in relationships, and even to this day, I think it's probably the worst thing, is that like I'm like I think I'm such a like go with the flow person. Like I'm just like, you know, in this world, like almost like you ever play Guitar Hero?
Yes,
You know how it's
yeah.
moving and you gotta
Right.
get the right as it's coming,
Yes.
like almost Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
Like you know what's coming. So I feel like I live my life like almost in like a sequence. Like even thinking in like audio, how that works. Like there's just constantly a sequence moving. And I feel like I'm just on this journey, and like I want to tell you that I probably shot my shot because she was a friend of a friend.
Okay.
But I don't think I shot my shot in a way of like, I'm trying to marry this girl. I think like I've always just been like and I think my profession is always kind of lent to me not being like a structured 9 to 5 person. Like
Yeah.
anything goes. And I think it's also fun.
Right.
You know, for someone like, hey, we're doing this, you want to come? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, man, it's like
I'm in.
every night I'm seeing if she wants to just come. Like,
Yeah.
but man, nah, she's amazing. And like we're almost, I don't want to say like we have enough things that we're alike, but we're perfectly opposite enough. Like when I tell you this woman loves nothing more, I've paid way too much for hotels for her to just be like, there's nothing like being back in like your bed, your home. She loves being home. She's not interested. Like out of the gate, she's desensitized. She's met everyone, and I walk into a picture of her and Drake cheek to cheek on my fridge every day. You know, so it's like she's kind of been there, done that, but also like, and I don't know if it's a Karen Crow thing.
Yeah,
but,
she's from Karen Crow.
You know, she was someone who couldn't have cared less what I did. So, you know, when somebody only cares about you for you, you know, it's amazing. And man, just the fun, you know, find somebody who is on the same path. Like, again, you know, people are like, you want kids? I'm like, I don't have kids. Like, do you want kids? And I just like, I never didn't want kids, but I was fine if I didn't. Like, because people like, especially in South Louisiana, like, you don't have kids?
Well, yeah.
Why not? You know, like, man, sorry, I'm like doing it. But like once you cross you get past a certain level, you're like, man, I really enjoy being able to leave. Like if I leave this interview, I can go do whatever I want.
Whatever you want.
I don't have to check with like a small human to make sure that they like, have they been watered? Have they been, are they like nourished? Like, you know, so shout out to parents. Not being a parent has made me appreciate parents like crazy, because all you have to do is think about, what if I had to think about this before I did that? But now, man, back to her, like she's just been someone who's just kind of been down. Whether it was like, there was a phase of my life where like I literally lived half here, half New Orleans, like I was just gone, you know? So just, you know, whether it's absence or just, she's been the most complimentary person. And also like, other than leaving her dad, again, that's why I'm grateful that I could be here. Like that was always a deal breaker. Like she'd let me go. She wasn't leaving. Man, she ain't leaving Louisiana.
No, she knows her family.
It was always like one more thing. Like I've never stayed just for her, but it was always like one of the factors that was like, well, if I do, like, you know, you think about anything in life, man. Every day you make decisions like, what do I have to lose? And you know, some people, the most dangerous people on earth are people who have nothing to lose.
Right.
If you know somebody with nothing to lose, anything goes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
get
saying?
out
Like,
the way if you can.
Yeah, like or someone who doesn't care how it goes down. Like we all know that person, but you know, when you have a few things, you got to weigh out options, man, before you make a move. Like, well, there's this, and then there was always that. So, you know, I can probably credit her a little as being one of the reasons why I got to stay. You know,
that's what's up, man.
And be here. But yeah, man, she's from Karen Crow. She's great. Definitely, I probably shot my shot first, but like she at one point kind of like took the lead in terms of like, all right, we're hanging out here, we're doing this, like this is what we're doing. Because if you don't like, if I left it up to you, we wouldn't go anywhere. Because I'm just a lingerer, a hanger-oner. There's no time, no sense of needing to be here, no sense of urgency. I'm just kind of going where the wind takes me. Oh yeah, no,
would have never thought that, man.
There's order, and then when you put legal like ramifications behind like law and order, there's some like, I'm doing this. You know you're not. If you do that, and it's never anything bad. Like if you buy that or do this, I swear to God, I'm like, all right. You know, so you know, just really good. You know, just that balance, man. And I think like anybody knows, relationships aren't perfect. It's really just like find the person who has the best set of like concessions that you can, you know, deal with for the most part. So.
Man, y'all do all this traveling too. How many states y'all been to so far?
Oh, geez. So we just did 33. That's wild. That whole thing. I don't know. Somewhere along the way, we've been to so many for her to go, what if we did them all? And I'm like, she got one of these maps where like you go to the state and take a picture in the state. And you send it to the company that makes the map and they cut it out in the shape of the state. And you put it on the thing. And I'm like, do we have to go? So like the rules are, gotta go together, because there's some I've been to without her, and have to go for at least 2 nights. And I love America. We're at that in that home stretch. You know,
bro, 33 of 50.
Still got the Dakotas.
See, that's why he's so busy.
It's a beautiful, like, you know, and I try to parlay, like, if there's a reason to go, you know, Saints are playing with Green Bay again. So, like, if I'm going to knock out Wisconsin, that's how I'm going to do it.
You're going to Wisconsin to go see the Saints.
For T-Pain. So,
you know,
So,
yeah, man. So, look, guys, we have learned a lot about DJ Digital. I hope you guys enjoyed it and whatnot, man. Thank you for everything that you've given us here today, man. We couldn't have done it without you, man. Like, if you guys, how can we reach you, man? How can people reach you? Besides calling on the radio.
Just at Call Me DJ Digital. Shout out to like not getting your name on social media and putting the real or Call Me. Like, and I started that, like I had to stick with it. So just literally like Call Me DJ Digital on everything. Just follow me. I'll follow you back if you're cool. If you're not weird. You don't have follow.
I gotta see if he followed me. I don't know.
I should make sure I go follow. Dude, there's best friends of mine, and I realize I'm not following. I'm like,
damn.
You know, or you see that follow request from someone you're best friends with in real life, like
you just been busy, man. You've been traveling like the states, you know, with that.
Man, so, you know, that's it. So,
man, well, look, guys, you can catch this guy on 107.9. It's hot on the radio. What is it, like Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. locally, man. You get the Hot 107.9 app if you're out of Lafayette, Baton Rouge area. Double XL higher level radio every night, 7 to midnight. Double XL app wherever you're at, you can hear it. Pop Crush, I do a 3-hour hosted syndicated top 40, you know, mix show. Pop Crush app, and just wherever you're at, like wherever I'm at. If you see me on a flyer, come out, say hey, you know, don't be a stranger.
Man,
You
You
know?
heard it here first, man.
Yeah.
This guy, I said the incredible DJ Digital. I mean that. This guy's all over the place. You guys love him. We love him. I want to thank you, not just for the podcast, but for everything that you do for
Just
the
in general,
community, man.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. You're bringing smiles and happiness to everybody when they turn on the radio, man, and when they go and see you. So thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Man, the pleasure's mine and the feeling's mutual. Thank you for everything you said. People do the same. So good luck with this, man. 13.
Thank you, man. 13,
Lucky
man. This will
number
be
13?
13, man. Yeah,
Damn,
you.
all
Yeah,
right.
man.
Awesome, dude.
So I'm trying to get it. So 13. So look, he talked about Cupid, Brisk Cooking. I'm coming for y'all. All right.
Oh, yeah. You got to get him on.
Oh yeah, man. I may need your help on that, but we'll
See, man.
Until next time, Louisiana on Fire. I'm Tim, DJ Digital. Catch you on the next one. Yeah, bro. What's up, Louisiana? Thanks for watching another episode of Louisiana on Fire. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Oh, and don't forget to hit that bell so you can be notified for the next episode.